It's about what you need to do step by step to turn your credit application from being rejected in a rejection status to being approved. Okay, I'll try to keep this under 1 hour, but you want to make sure that you stay until the end because this is why. Now let me ask you again, ladies and gentlemen, do you wonder why your credit application gets rejected by the banks? And banks, that's when it just confuses the hell out of you. And the thing is, some banks or most banks don't want to tell you what are the reason of this rejection because they say it is our policy not to tell you why we reject you. Yes, and it's not a good feeling. Now, let me ask you, do you wish that you could find out the real reason of your credit application when it gets rejected? Now, the bank don't tell you. It does not mean that we cannot make an estimate, we cannot guess what is the reason, and that is what I want to tell you in this session today. I think nobody in the whole internet is doing this, right? So, and thirdly, have you ever wanted to get a second chance to appeal after your credit application get rejected by submitting additional documentation that banks don't really explicitly ask you to submit? Okay, but this documentation, once you submit, it could help you. I'm not saying I guarantee it will turn your application to being rejected to being approved, but it will, at least you get a second chance. Because bank, when they reject you straight away, they don't give you a second chance. They don't want to tell you the reason, right? So, do you want to get a second chance, okay, when your credit application get rejected, okay? So that you get a second chance, and who knows, after you appeal, after you submit this documentation, you turn the rejection to an approval. So, if your answer is yes to any of these 3 questions, then you are going to want to pay very close attention to what I'm going to say for the next 45 minutes or so, right? So how do we feel fuck when this is how we feel fuck, right? So when you are eating dinner with your family and you get a message something like this, right? Your bank send you an automated message saying that please be informed that your credit card application is unsuccessful. We regret for the inconvenience caused. Full stop. Fuck that, right? And then there's this, some banks will use SMS, some banks will actually generate automated email sent to your inbox, to your email, and it looks something like this. Good day, thank you for your email. We wish to clarify it's the bank policy. We do not reveal the reason for rejected application. So this is a screenshot from one of my clients who got rejected. He emailed back and say what is the reason, and this is the actual email by the bank support. Okay, that is not really helpful and very ironic. He said that, oh, we trust the above clarifies. What clarifies? It doesn't tell us any reason why it reject our card, right? And ask you to call the contact center. Thank you for banking. Yada yada yada. Fuck that, right? Fuck that too. So you see, don't we hate that? We feel fucked. We are being rejected but there's no way for us to redeem that because you are not fucking telling me what is the reason that you reject me, right? It is like you are going, you go through an exam, right? You go to an exam, and then the results are out. You get a D for your exam, but without knowing why, right? Don't you hate that? I hate that, right? So I can relate. I hate that. And the reason why I'm here today is to help you, possibly help you get through that kind of rejection, to turn that into approval. Now, again, I don't guarantee that, but this is what you can do with these things. Now, if you thought that being rejected the first time was bad, what you are probably thinking to do next will make the situation worse. So stop whatever you are trying to do now, stop whatever you're doing and listen to this. Because a lot of people, when they get rejected, they go to other banks and they want to apply for the same thing from other banks. do not apply from other banks until you pinpoint the reason for the first bank to reject you. Maybe you can try the second one, but if the first and second you already get a rejection, you're already being said no, you don't apply for the third one, because this will trigger a red flag. Okay, when banks saw that, oh, the previous two banks rejected this guy too, and immediately it triggered a red flag, and this is actually very obvious when it comes to your credit report. Okay, will show up. So the right thing to do is to find out why, not by apply again another personal loan from other banks, and so do not do that. So here's the exact detail. You're going to get a truckload or bucket load of values from this online session. The first thing you're going to discover is that the obvious and not obvious reasons why your credit application get rejected in the first place. Okay, if you have never been rejected before, congratulations, but you might also want to be in this webinar because why? Because it could prevent further rejection, because in the future it's likely you're going to apply for loans or anything, right? Any credit from the bank. So you're going to gain a lot of tips from this too. Now, second thing that is, I'm going to review strategies to turn your credit application around. Pure actionable steps. Those are not something that you already know, not something you can Google, but I'll give you not the theory, but actually step by step. And also the next thing is to cover point 1 and point 2, I will be giving you case studies and examples. Okay, therefore, if you want to get this exact whole presentation that I'm actually delivering to you now here, stay until the end of this webinar and you will get all my slides that I'm covering here. So before we go to the content, right, what I promise you is step by step to turn your credit application from rejected to being approved. Now for today's webinar, I should have warned you before that, right? You would have realized that. Warning, profanity ahead, because I really want to put some of my points directly. Okay, I'm a very straightforward person, and there might be profanity. Okay, you have heard that already, yes, right? And there's also a few disclaimer that I want to tell you. Wait, I cannot guarantee, or we cannot guarantee, me and my team cannot guarantee and do not guarantee that you will get 100% can guarantee you can turn around your whatever credit application using the exact strategies or advice covered here. So again, I'm not the one who approved that, so I cannot guarantee, but what I can guarantee you is the satisfaction with what you will be presented, of the facts that I'm covering for you here today in this session. Now, you should also know that all topics presented here are for education and information purpose only. You alone are responsible and accountable for all your decisions, action, results in your credit application. And by attending this session, you agree not to attempt to hold us liable for your decision, action, results at any time under any circumstances. If you do not agree with that, so please just leave this webinar, right? And lastly, use caution and always consult a professional advisor before acting on this or any information related to your personal or business finances. Okay, so with that being laid out in the open, there are 3 reasons why you should listen to me, right? Number 1 is because I, as a licensed independent advisor, I help common people just like you solve their credit application issues, or some people will term as a CCRIS or ctos issues, right? So I understand exactly what you're going through. Now, you might have saw my article when you have a CCRIS issue, but if you Google something terms like Check CCRIS Online, you can see on the first page of Google, this is my article over here, and I've written this for some years before I actually do this webinar, and you know that it has gathered 300 over of total likes and shares and comments in that article. And this very article why you are in this webinar as well, right? And the second reason why you should listen to me is because, like I say, I'm a licensed independent certified financial planner. I'm a CFP, certified financial planner. So Google for the term financial planner in Penang, and you should see my profile in the top spot, like spot number 1 and number 2 in Google organic search. So if you want to check me out, who I am, so just Google this term and you could see my profile over there. All right. And the third reason why you should listen to me is because besides helping kind of solve problem, I also want to reveal to you, this is how my credit rating looks like. I walk the talk, right? I walk the talk. My credit rating is actually excellent, sterling, clean, awesome, fantabulous, whatever you want to call it. Yes. So this makes me someone that who can speak on this topic and can help you. Okay, you can take my advice because I walk the talk. I'm not someone that has a bad credit rating and come tell you what to do. Because you want to get rich, you don't go and consult a beggar. Correct? Yes. So this is actually my credit rating, my credit report, right? And it's in a very good standing. So now that I get your attention, so let me reintroduce myself. I'm CF Liu, and I have a team here that is will maybe help answer some of your questions. I will not be able to answer the questions as I'm delivering this presentation. But you can check out my website, howtofinancemoney.com, Facebook page. It's about 3,000 followers here. So if you have not joined the community here, follow me. And the topic today is how to step by step to turn your credit application from rejected to being approved. Now, when it comes to credit application, okay, these are the type of credit application, and this is what I think is most important. Very simply, credit application, we have mortgages, house loan, high-end purchase, which is your car loan, credit card, if you're in a business loan, and also personal loans. Although, if you're listening today, it's likely that you will have issues when it comes to credit card or personal loans application, or even SME applications. Now, this is actually the first step, right? Get your credit rating, make sure when you apply any credit, your profile is clean. You look, your credit score is high. You look like a very good borrower to the banks. And when I say that, there's no, I know that when people talk about, property investment and whatever investment, there's no use you go and attend, property courses, learn about investment, all that, if your credit rating actually sucks big time, right? There's no way you can get 300, 400 or even $500,000 property loans if you can't even get a personal loan, or you can't even get your credit card approved. So there's no point to really learn all those investment if your credit rating is bad. So get your credit. That's why this is so important, and that's why almost nobody in the entire internet that talks about this, right? And you know that if you get your credit, even your personal loan or credit card rejected, you know that your life is going to suck, right? And you run out of luck, but you have to move on. You have to find out how to improve from there on, okay? Even though after appeal you still get a second rejection, but at least taking these tips here, you will know what to do, right? Because being rejected for any credit application really sucks, right? That sucks big time. And this is what I think is most important. And again, I draw a red line in the middle is because they are what we call a credit application. There's two types. There's one type is called secure, because secure credit because they have collateral come with it. For example, if you borrow money from the bank, you're not paying your overdue for your house repayment for, I don't know, 6 months or so. And actually, bank have your house as a collateral. They can actually just lock out your house and say, because your house is charged to the bank. So this is what I mean, like collateral, a car, or even your business loan, right? But there is another type which is called very common, and there's a lot of people are having problem with, if what we call as not the secure but unsecure lending, meaning that you do not have any asset to back that up, and that is what credit card and personal loans fall under unsecured, which is without collateral. And you know there's something a loan that doesn't come with a collateral, it comes with a super high interest, Okay, there's no like medium kind of interest. It's either low or it's either super high. Super high is how much? Like 18% per year. Okay, at least like 3 or 4 times more than the interest rate for those secure loan with collateral. Now, but I think it is this, your credit card is the single most important when it comes to credit application, because if you can't get this approved, then nothing will get approved. Okay, believe me. So if you can't get this right, don't think about applying for other credit like personal loan and all things like that. Okay, and why you want to apply for credit card? There's a reason why is that sometimes you might have already a few credit cards and so, but there might be a credit card offered by certain bank that offer a very high cash rebates, a very high percentage, and you might be interested in that because cash rebate, if you spend to a certain amount per month, you get a lot of hard savings, right? Actual monetary savings that is deposited in back into your account when you swipe your credit card, like 5% rebate or something like that. So it could translate into thousands of savings per year, and that is why there's also reason why even if you have credit card already, you want to apply for credit card. Now the other reason, if you are very new, you don't have credit card and whatnot, so the first credit to get is always a credit card, because it allows you to build a credit history. A credit history meaning that your repayment pattern. Because for a bank, if they check your credit report and you have no credit, that is also a bad thing, because they do not know what is your credit repayment pattern or history. And they will be very ironic, because if you don't have any credits, bank will also don't want to lend you money. You see, so for the most basic level, you must have at least a credit card, because then your credit report will have this credit card being shown. You pay every month your outstanding amount on time. I'm not saying that you must pay in full. That's another topic altogether. You must pay on time so that at least your repayment pattern are consistent. There's no late payment, to show that you are a good borrower, and that is where you build your credit history. So when you want to move to a bigger loans, like take a mortgage or higher purchase and all that, your loans for that huge thing will get approved easily, right? You know this, you know how to get your credit card approved, and you keep your repayment history good, excellent, and you sit until the end of this webinar. You are going to learn all these things, and you're going to minimize your chances for any credit rejection from bank in the future. Now, when it comes to any credit application from bank, these are the standard documents that you need to submit. Salary slip for 3 months, bank account statements like for 6 months, or for 3 months, to show that your salary is being deposited into the bank. If you're in a business, you need to provide that for 6 months, and EPF statement, so that you can't really fake your salary slips. All that are standard documents. But if you are in a situation where you're already being rejected, that is not likely to help much, because these are the standard documents. So you have to do another level. You have to provide evidence better than this. Okay, if not, you'll be someone like this, a sobbing face when you get the first rejected, second rejected, you go to other bank also being rejected. And who really likes being rejected multiple times? Yes? Now, the second thing that I want to cover, the first thing I want to cover here is that when you're being rejected, these are the very obvious reasons when your credit application gets rejected. First, look at your credit repayment history. Okay, if your credit repayment history, if you have a few credit card or personal loan or something like that, if you see something like this means that your past 12 months repayment pattern, the red meaning that you are late by 1 month. If there's any 2 over here, meaning that you are late by 2 months, your monthly installment. Like I said, you don't need to pay the amount, but at least you have to pay the minimum amount. And if your credit application get rejected, you must go and check your own credit report. And if you see something like this, if you never realize it, then you are screwed. You suck big time. This is the obvious reason. Don't need to do anything. No need to submit for appeal and things like that, because it's very obvious. The main reason is your repayment pattern, right? No bank is going to lend money, get your application approved if your repayment pattern sucks big time. Something like this. You overdue so many times. If you're only overdue 1-2 times, that is okay. You are overdue with this kind of record, it's going to suck big time.